Hi, this is Michael Rony Mullick, and you're watching the post market show. And today is Friday, and we expected some kind of profit booking towards the second half, and exactly that has happened in the markets. And it was from the first hour in the morning, Nifty made a high, and from there it started falling, and again ending quite weak, almost at the lowest point of the day. So that was Nifty for you. If you look at the charts again in the daily chart, we see Nifty is not able to cross yesterday's high. We have told that yesterday's high is going to be acting as an important level of resistance, but Nifty could not break that on the upside. And actually, it was an inside candle, and this kind of a pattern forms in this. If the market is breaking previous high, it can go higher, and if it is breaking the previous low, it can go further downward. So we have to see and wait and watch how the markets react. So if you look at the intraday price action of the markets opened with a huge gap up, as we were expecting, because US markets were positive. So this was on the cards. When the markets opened with a gap up, people started selling, and the selling started from the first hour. So market in the first 15 minutes made a high of 17,685. From there it started falling, and there was a slight recovery. Again it was falling, and today's low was around 17,519. And finally markets recovered a bit in the last 15 minutes. The weighted average closing price is at 17,558, Nifty up by 0.21%. And if you look at Bank Nifty even had a further bearish day, down ending almost flat, 0.09% in the green. So you can see Bank Nifty, same thing happened, opened with a gap up above 39,000, went up to 39,300. From there it faced huge resistance and then came down. There was a pullback, but that was sold into once again. Overall markets have been quite weak is what we are seeing, especially after yesterday's fall. And when we go into the US markets, we will see why the fall is happening. Things are not particularly looking bullish in the US market right now, so we will come to that reason. But apart from that, Nifty mid caps and small caps had a pretty good day. Mid caps up by 0.5%, Nifty small caps doing pretty well, up by 0.73%. Coming to major sectoral indices, if we see today, most of the sectors ended mixed, but the top gainers were the Nifty metal sector. Metal sector is up 1.77%. JSW Steel, Hindalco, then Tata Steel, all of these steel related stocks are significantly higher today. That is why Nifty metal is up 1.77%. Apart from that, Nifty PSU Bank Index did pretty well, and we expected that in the morning itself, because Nifty PSU Bank Index was looking particularly strong. Today it is also up by 0.98%. If there wasn't a sell-off in the second half, the markets would have been higher. So NIFT still doing pretty well, 1% up. Nifty PSU Bank Index, that's significant, definitely. Apart from that, the sectors, there was mixed movement everywhere. And if you talk about some of the negative sectors, we have to talk about today the Nifty private banks were slightly down today by 0.28%, and the Nifty reality and Nifty media was down slightly, but that is not significant. But one more disappointing thing was Nifty IT index. So IT index, we thought that since Nasdaq ended significantly in the green, maybe it was time for the Nasdaq, the Nifty IT index here to bounce back from its lows. It did so. It opened with a gap up, but towards the end that got sold off, and you can see that again bearish candle forming in Nifty IT as well, although it is up 0.29%, but it is just a matter of time before this support is broken and it falls further. So definitely quite bearish on the IT index is what I am for the next week. So these were some of the sectors, and stock specific, there was not much movements today. So if you look at today's stocks that did well, it was particularly I will talk about L&T and Kotak Bank. These were the top contributors in Nifty. So Kotak Bank did pretty well, up by 1.78%, and L&T up by almost 1.46%. Apart from that, there was not much movements in other stocks. So most of them are either slightly up, slightly down. And talking to about the Nifty movers of the day, Kotak Bank, L&T definitely the top gainers. Then Titan, NTPC, Grasim, JSW Steel, these were the top gainers in Nifty 50. Talking about the top losers, it was Reliance Industries leading the fall today, down by 0.53%. Apart from that, HDFC, Eicher Motors, Bharti Airtel, Asian Paints, these were pretty weak today. And FIIs have turned net sellers once again, they have sold by most 51 crores today. So nothing significant, but still it's a selling by FIIs. That's not a sign of confidence. DIIs have bought today for 453 crores, but still the markets fell. So definitely things are looking slightly bearish as of now, because now we move on to the global markets and you will see the reason why. So German index, if you see it, it is down, I think almost, let's see, almost 2%, I think, yes, 2.26% down. Huge red candle forming in the German markets. Last 3 days gains all wiped out. Huge red candle ending at the lowest point of the day. So it's a massive fall in the German index as well. French index followed suit, 1.68% down. UK index down 1.06%, and in US markets it's an absolute bloodbath happening. The Nasdaq is down 2.87%, way below 13,000. It's at 12,765. Last 4 days of market has been wiped out today, and it's continuously falling. If you look at the intraday charts, US markets are open as we speak. You can see there is no respite whatsoever. Markets are falling, and there's it's just falling in a one-way fashion. S&P 500 continues to fall. Dow Jones continue to fall. No signs of recovery. So things are absolutely bearish in the US markets. US VIX shot up by 10%, 10.65% right now. So again, not a good sign. VIX shooting up. US VIX is now at 24.15. Now you might wonder, why is this panic? This is because we were talking about the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's speech today at 7:30 p.m. That happened, and what was in the speech? He said that reducing inflation is likely to require a sustained period of below trend growth, but failure to restore prices would mean far greater pain. This is definitely a hawkish statement from the Fed chair, and hawkish means it's slightly on the negative side. So they are saying that this indirectly means interest rate will be risen further. They will hike the interest rates in the coming days to control inflation, and that they know the consequences of that will be below trend growth. So the growth rates are, it's already negative. It's if you look at the GDP of the US, 2 quarters negative. It's already in recession. Even on the third quarter it came negative. Yes, just yesterday it was announced, came at negative 0.6%. So overall things are looking quite bearish, and Jerome Powell's speech further strengthened the resolve of the bears, and the markets are falling like anything. And on top of that, what happened is the US personal spendings for the month of July came. Expectations were 0.4%, and it came at 0.1%. And also the personal income expectation was at 0.6% positive. It came at just 0.2%. This means two things: the personal incomes are falling, and personal spendings are also falling, since people are not gaining much. They're not getting much salaries, so people are having less amount to spend, and since they're spending less, the businesses are not getting profits. If the businesses are not profitable, they are not able to give proper wages to their employees, and when they're not getting proper wages, people will like to spend less, and it's a vicious cycle, as you can understand already. And on top of that, the interest rate is getting hiked every time they're having an interest rate meeting. So overall, US market is in a very dire situation. Things are only looking from bad to worse. So it's just a matter of time before the US market maybe crashes. But in the upcoming months, we are not seeing any signs of recovery for the US markets. Now, two things can happen: either US markets will get detached from the world markets, and US markets will keep on falling, while the other markets will recover. But the other thing is, all the markets will fall along with US markets. So which of this possibility comes true, we have to wait and watch. So as of now, we usually follow the US markets. It's called the mother market for a reason. It is a global superpower as of now, but things might change in the coming years and months. So right now, since US markets are down, everything should be down. And I told you the VIX has shot up by 10%. US oil, the crude oil prices is still above $90, and also we are seeing that dollar index is at an all-time high, very close to its all-time high. So we have been talking about this, that this was not showing a bullish sign, and still the dollar index is up by 0.3% today. So again, that is a bearish sign for the markets. Expecting more pain in the coming week maybe for the US markets, and we have to see how much of that translates into our markets over here. SGX Nifty is down. It is our markets ended around 17,558. It is down to 17,490. So that's not much, 60-70 points down. But we have to see where the US markets end, and sometimes SGX Nifty is not a true reflection of what happens in the markets. As we have seen the last 2 days, when it was indicating a massive gap up, our markets hardly did half of that. So again, we have to wait and see how the markets opened tomorrow on the Asian markets open and while Indian markets open on Monday. Expecting a gap down, and how much of the gap down is going to be there, that is to be seen. And it is interesting to see that people might have already guessed this, and they have already started taking short position. This is Bank Nifty for the 1st of September expiry. September is a long expiry, 5-week series, and 1st of September is an expiry date. People have closed their eyes and sold call option right from 39,000 and above, and things are looking pretty bearish. As we can see, people have just sold call options, and people were expecting bearishness in Nifty. And if you look at Bank Nifty, same thing, put call ratio below 1, it is at 0.72. Again, people have sold a lot of call options expecting the markets to go down on Monday, and that is exactly what is going to happen. Monday, a huge gap down. Maybe these people will have time to book their profits. So we will see what happens once Monday comes. But as of now, we will wait for the US markets to end, and also the Jackson Hole Symposium is going on in the US. So if there are any major developments from there, we will be discussing all of those in the Sunday's week ahead show, and also the levels for next week, and where the US markets have ended, what we can expect next week. Also next week we have some India specific data like the GDP growth rate. All of those will be discussed on the Sunday live show. So until that time, thank you for watching and have a very good night.